Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the Dattie podcast. Today is November 14th, 2024, and I am here with Ronnie Veronese. What's
Good.
up, Ronnie?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for getting on this podcast. I know it's later over there. It's like 8 o'clock at night. It's about 2 o'clock here. How's it? I just saw you 3 weeks ago. Did you like the video we made?
Yes, yes, it was cool. Nice video. So thank you very much for whatever you did over there and the effort you took. You know, I think editing videos is not. It's also a full-time job. Huh? It's not so easy.
It is. It really, and we had so much footage we're going through. I had three phones, three different phones of footage,
Mm.
thousands. But I loved your answer, and for everyone who saw the video, Ronnie was very confident, but he was also very humble. And I was like, oh, we got to play that Kanye clip. We got to play the Kanye clip because I fucking love that.
Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win.
But this year, I knew I'm going to win.
I was like, this is so good, and you looked great. And was that your wife you were with?
Yes, yes, with my wife.
Okay. So Ronnie, you are in. Just for clarification for the people here in the United States, MHP stands for micro hair pigmentation. Is that right?
Yes, MHP is exactly micro hair pigmentation. In the Netherlands, they call it microhaarpigmentatie.
Okay.
The first people who introduced it, SMP into the Netherlands, they came up with this name. And when I started out in 2019, I didn't knew that SMP was a big thing. You know, I was like, it's MHP. I didn't knew the word SMP.
Oh
So
wow.
so it's like that's why I chose my name like this. Is for Google. People in the Netherlands, they will when they go to the Google, they will put MHP. They will not put SMP.
Yeah, it's for search engine optimization, right? You went to
Yes,
Google to find
exactly.
it. That's why I named mine Delaware SMP, so people in Delaware can find
That's a
me.
good choice. That's a good choice.
I love your I always stalk everybody and do my research before I do, even though I've seen your stuff, but I go over it again. I was looking at your website and your Instagram, and I love your studio. I love the tiles on the wall and on the floor. Did you design that? How'd you come up with that?
Well, yes, I did it myself. It's a program. It's called Floor Planner. So you can design your whole studio with whatever you want. You know, and my studio is not super big, but I have everything I need. It's it's no, I made it very masculine because most of my clients are just men, and I wanted to. When I just made this studio, I wanted to make it like also like a tattoo shop. So SMP and tattoo, I want to combine it because this building is not only a studio; it's also a house. It's 3 floors, so I have like a whole apartment on top of it.
And you own this building? You own like
Yes, yes,
this
yes, yes.
building?
I
So do
already
you
have.
live up top or does someone rent it?
No, no. I live on top on number two, and on the ground floor we have this the saloon for women cutting hairs,
Okay.
and that's number two. And then I bought the building from the neighbor in 2020. That's number four, and like I made apartments, and on the ground floor I made a very small room for myself to do SMP. That's when I started to do it a little bit more serious because before I did it in the hair salon, like on the days when the salon was closed. But I was looking for a bigger place, and I saw this, and we bought this, and I took the ground floor, and on top of it, my son is living upstairs.
Oh wow. Wow. Well, it's a beautiful setup and good for you, man. That's a businessman. I also bought my building too because I was tired of renting. And it
Yes,
just feels a lot better when you do renovations and spend your money that you own it, and you're not
of
helping
course.
somebody else because it's a little frustrating. My first property, I did all this work, thousands of dollars of work, and for what? I mean, it looked nice for when the people come in, but
Yeah, mhm.
but I didn't, it wasn't mine. I feel a
Yeah.
lot better with that. But yeah, you really do have a nice place. I love the tile. Now, did you put the tile on the wall? I'm sorry, I'm going into it, but did you put the tile on the wall so if there's splatter, it's easier to clean, easily wipeable surface?
Uh, well, I don't know how is the regulations in the United States, but here in the Netherlands, you need some regulations that the wall has to be that you can wipe it very easily.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? I
Yes,
was
that's the
in
same.
I was in the studio of Giro when I was in New York. So he has like this brick wall.
Yeah.
In here in my country, it's they will not give you the permission to do SMP or tattooing or whatever if your wall looks like that. You know, the area needs to be very easy cleanable.
Yep. Yeah, same here in Delaware. So in the United States, it's each state has its own regulations. Like Pennsylvania is very relaxed. Delaware's a little strict, but New York's a little relaxed. So each one, I know New Jersey is a pain in the ass. But yeah, so everyone is different. So Ronnie, you have we were talking offline and you have a little bit of accent. How many languages do you speak?
I speak Italian, I speak Netherlands and English, three
Wow.
language.
Wow.
Yes.
And what is the Netherlands language?
Hmm.
Is that like a hybrid or something? I'm not familiar with it at all.
Nederlands is geen mooie taal. Hè? De meeste mensen die Nederlands horen praten vinden het een lelijke taal.
And is that for that's just Netherlands the country, or do surrounding countries do it as well?
Netherlands, it's just Netherlands. Netherlands is a very small country. Huh? You know, if
Yeah.
it's like when I hear sometimes I hear like you guys talking. Yeah, my clients have to drive 5 hours or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
for us 5 hours you are already in Paris. You know,
Yeah. And I
it's
see
crazy.
Germany, you're pretty close to Germany as well, right?
I'm very close to Germany. Yes, Germany is big, but Netherlands is a super small country. I'm honest with you. We had some. Of course, me and my wife we worked very hard. There was a time that I like worked 3 jobs at the same time.
Wow.
I had to wake up every day 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. 4 a.m. It's 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work, and I did it for a very very long time. But
Was that before you did SMP?
yes, before SMP, yes, and but I came now to a point in my life that I actually don't need to work. So the buildings that I've bought is they give me so much passive incomes that I just can sit down, hanging on my phone all day, and I still have enough money to pay my bills and to eat. You
I
understand
love
what I?
that, man. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
I wanna get to that level, Ronnie. I wanna
Yeah,
get to that
it's
level. Good for you,
like I said,
man.
like I said, there's a combination of hard work and also a little bit of luck. I always said that when luck knocks on the door, you must be ready to open the door and let it come in.
Damn right, damn right. How old were you when you moved from Italy to the Netherlands?
I cannot even remember. I was like maybe not even 2 years old, one
Oh,
years and whatever.
so
So
you grew up in the Netherlands most of
I
your
grew
life?
up in the Netherlands. Yes,
But but I guess your parents are the ones that taught you the Italian, so growing up, you speak that at home?
of course. We only speak Italian at home till this day.
Okay.
And my mom is already here like 41 years, and she still don't likes the Netherlands language. She can talk it, but she don't like it. It's not a language that is very uh, that you say, "Oh, I love to speak this language."
Yeah.
It's.
Is she, do you guys go back to Italy a lot? Do you visit your cousins?
Mm, I went this year to visit my cousin,
Uh-huh.
and my cousin is also sick, so I don't know how much longer he has left, and he's my own age, the same age as I do, 1 year older. So I go, and I hope that he's there next year still. So I
Yeah.
will go again. So yeah, I don't have a lot of connection with my family in Italy. He's the only one.
Okay, okay.
The most important people are here in my country. I have my mom, my dad, my son, and my wife is super big family. She's from Armenia.
She's from Armenia?
Yeah, she has like a very big family. So I got everything what I need over here.
How'd you meet your wife? Did she live in the Netherlands too?
Yes, she came here in 1990. They left Armenia. There was a war going on there, so they had
I
to
heard it
left.
was brutal. I heard it was
Yeah,
brutal.
so she was where I cut my hair. I
Oh, wow.
before when I had hair 20 years ago. So she was working there, and there we just everything went like this, you know. I was a client of in the saloon where she worked.
And you started talking to her, and that's kind of how you guys start dating.
Yes, yes. She was very good with clients and very good in her work. So I told her, you know, we have to start working for ourselves, you know,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not
hell yeah.
working for other people. So we started like 2 years later. We opened the first hair salon with a very small budget, and from there everything grows, you know.
What so before you did SMP, did she train you, teach you how to be a barber or something, or
No,
did she just do it and then you were just kind of running the business?
I was a bus driver.
Okay. Okay, you were a bus driver?
I was a bus driver for 16 years. For 16 years, I was a bus driver. And before that, I did a lot of jobs in constructions, manual labor. But the bus driver was, you know, it was a good work. It
Did
was
you
a
work
good.
for the state or the city for the
Yeah,
city?
yeah. You work for the state, yes.
Okay.
So I was that came into my life by chance, and I always said, okay, I'm gonna do this work, and in the meanwhile, I will see if I can find something else. But it took me like almost 16 years before I found something else. So this SMP came into my life by chance.
Wow. So you did bus driving all the way up till you started doing scalp micropigmentation.
Yeah, but the first years you do both. You do scalp
Yeah.
micropigmentation and bus driving because it. I think scalp micropigmentation for a lot of people will start. You know, you want a side hustle or whatever. For me, it was like a friend of mine. He brought me to this idea, and it started as a joke. It really started as a joke, and
How so? How did it start as a joke?
well, I was when I did my SMP the first time in 2018. You know, this guy he's in the Rotterdam, so he was like, okay. When I went in for my second session, this friend of mine he heard that I had to go there, so he said, "Can I come with you?" So I want to ask if he's gonna do it for me. How much do I have to pay and whatever? So when this guy asked him like a very high price, and if you're not in SMP, you think like this is a crazy price for tattoo, right?
Yeah.
So this guy said when we were back in the car, he said, "Yeah, I can go to Turkey and I can do a hair implant for the half of the price and whatever." So he told me, "Why don't you do it? You have already a salon for your wife cut hair of the woman, so you can do SMP for men." So he said, "You can do my head." So I thought about it. So I say, "Well, why not?" So I was looking on that moment. I didn't have social media, nothing. It was 2019, the January 2019. So I went on Google and I put MHP training, not SMP training. I put MHP training. So there was only one clinic that they gave a training. So it was a 1 day training, $600. You know how? Do you think that I knew what SMP was in that time? I was thinking it's only placing dots. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
how difficult can it be? So yes, I went to this training. So I called my friends. I said, "Listen, I need a model." So he said, "Okay, let's go." I went over there. I had to pay $600 in advance, and when I was there, I had to buy a machine, 3,500.
What the
And
fuck?
they sold me a machine, a Curie machine. You know the Curie machine?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's worth $3,000.
Fuck hell! But they sold me this machine, and later on it was like an AliExpress machine or Alibaba, and they just put their logo on, you know, and they sold me this machine for 3,500. I still have the invoice. I still have the invoice till this day.
Jesus Christ,
They,
dude.
I had to work with a 1 RL, the needle all the way in. It was like it was a mess. Trust me. The first 6 months of my work was like, you know,
I used a one round liner too for about 8 or 9 months too. And it sucks because I felt like I was making no progress or like I did all this work and it wasn't showing up, especially on a darker person. It
yeah.
was very frustrating, very, very frustrating.
Well,
Jesus Christ! So they sold you that freaking machine. Are you? You don't have to say the name if you don't want to. The person, are they still in business? This person?
they're still in business and they're still operating in the same way.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
But
Okay.
now there is a guy here in the Netherlands, and his name is Ronnie Veronese from MHP Studio,
Yeah.
and all those people that producing like bad work. I just say something. My tongue is very loose. I can, if I see some things that are like that I think is not fair,
Mhm.
I will speak up.
Yeah.
Because they, you know, I had to laser all those friends of mine. I did it for free. First of all, I did it for free, and a couple of guys, it looked so bad. I was like, okay, listen, you really need to laser this off, because or else my whole this whole business will never start. So I covered all the lasers, and then I had to redo everything for free. So my start in the SMB business was very, very hard. 6 months later, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it anymore, because I was looking at the work that I was producing, and I said, no, man, this I don't want this on my own head.
So you actually pay. So the people that you did in the beginning, who you felt you didn't put, obviously in the beginning you're still learning, right? You only did a 1 hour, a 1 day class. You felt like the quality wasn't there, so you paid for them to get the laser, and then you redid it when you got better.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Wow. Thank you for being honest and transparent about that. Not everybody will admit that. And I also think that's very respectable and honorable of you to do that for your clients and your friends, especially, and you admitting, hey man, I can clean this up. And I know that's not cheap, and it's a painful process as well. But good for you for honoring that. I love to hear that. Good for you, Ronnie.
Yeah, but it's like I didn't had any how do you say benchmark to look about, because I didn't have social media, and I didn't know. I could not call my teacher like, hey, I don't think that this work is up to the standards.
Mhm.
So like I said, I wanted to stop this work, because I said I'm not gonna fuck somebody up. It feels bad. So my wife said, no, maybe you didn't had a good training. So she had Instagram. So she showed me some results of other artists, and they look way much better than mine. So she convinced me that I should take some new trainings. So I opened up Instagram, my first social media account in 2020,
Wow.
2019, and 2019, my first social media account. And that then I start doing some research. I wanted the first who came up was like, you got Scalp Micro USA. They're all over the place if
Yep.
you open YouTube. So I said, okay, I need to go to New York. But then I saw Creative Scalps, Mark Allen.
Mark's a beast.
So when I saw his results, I said, okay, this is the guy.
Yeah.
I need to take my training from him. So I contact him, but he said, no, I'm not gonna do personal training. It's only online trainings. So I took his online training, and from there my work starting to get better. But it was I was still not satisfied. This is actually what I'm gonna telling now is maybe sounds a little bit strange. S&P brought me two things in my life: one positive thing and one negative thing. The positive thing is I reached a level now of quality that I can really do whatever I want. I don't take any client. I don't take all the clients. I really literally am very picky with my clients. I choose them. It's not the other way around.
Wow.
And so I got this. I'm very relaxed, but at the same time, it's crazy to say it, but it looks that I build a prison in my mind, and this prison I'm thinking 24/7 about this work, and how can I produce even better quality than I'm producing now? And I'm now to a level because that a lot of clients they just literally say this to me: I have to choose between you and Mark Allen. I have this in my inbox. And when I saw his work the first time, it was like I need to become as good as he is. And if I can become better, it's only a bonus. And years later, you're gonna reach a level that people, they say, I choose between you and him, and they come to my studio. They also put a lot of pressure on me. You understand?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
people come and they have this like crazy high expectations from you. So it's like, in my mind, it's a mess. It's maybe okay. It's not a mess, but I'm thinking too much about SMP. I'm honest with you, and I have to go to. Sometimes I go to therapy
Nothing
because
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Ronnie.
because when I'm
You're obsessed. There's nothing wrong.
yeah,
To
I'm just
be, I mean,
obsessed.
you just won Best Artist in Europe, and to be that, you have to be obsessed. You
No,
have
I'm
to.
obsessed. I'm obsessed with results. Really, I'm really obsessed with results, and I want that. When I'm in the gym, I want to think about the gym. When I'm with my son, I want to think about my son. When I'm with my wife, I want to think about her. I don't want to have this crazy work 24/7 in my mind, and that's something. How do you say? Yeah, it's a pain in the ass sometimes, but at
You're
the
not
other way,
alone though, Ronnie. You're not alone. I'll be hanging out with my son and I'll be thinking about, or I'll be thinking I got to text this person back, or I'll be thinking about work I did previous or upcoming jobs. And
yeah.
it's, it's, I think it's just part of the lifestyle of being a business owner, to be honest, just being an entrepreneur. We just have to deal with a lot more shit. We don't just have one job, we have all the jobs, and it's
Yeah,
very stressful.
I know. But like what I also do, like I said, I choose my own clients, and I already said this, but I also know my limitations because. To be honest, I don't think there is a best artist in the world, because if you are a best artist in the world, then you are good at everything, good at dark skin, good at scars, good at good. But, I knew that this year was my year because I live in the Netherlands, so most of my clients are just light skinned people.
Which are the
So,
most difficult? If for
yeah,
people who
but
don't know, SMP, the more fair skin, the you make an imperfection, it's easily noticeable.
yes. So I focus really on my own client type. If a client is too dark for my skills, for my technique, I am honest with this guy. Listen, you're out of my reach, out of my technique. You know, there are some artists that can do this better than me.
Mhm.
And for example, you got some guys in London that they are like very specialized in.
The Scalptus is a beast with the dark
Yeah,
skin.
so
He is a beast.
sculptist or the other guy, the guy that works with creative sculpture.
Dondadas?
For example, he's also very good with dark skin, but also the other guy, what's his name? He's working with the creative sculpts as well in his team.
You talk about from creative scalps, you talk about Willie.
Yes, I'm talking about Willie. So he's also very good with dark skin, better than I am. So and maybe if because I don't want to do it because it's out of my maybe out of my skills, or because I don't like to do it. And if you don't like to do something, especially with SMP, your results are gonna be like less pleasant, I think.
Mhm.
But when you're working and you just do whatever you like to do, and you feel like, no, I really want to go to my work. I want to make this crazy result. I want to make this super realistic. Then most of the time the work will come out better. So
Agreed.
I show these guys. Look, I open my phone and I show the page of these guys. And I say to them, maybe it's better for you to go there. They can give you what you're looking for.
Mhm.
So just honest. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to do everybody.
Do they
And
ever fight you on it? Do they ever fight? They say, no, I want Ronnie, I want you to do it. I know you can do it. Do you ever get that? And they say, hey, I'll pay you even more money, or no?
no, no, because I'm very like
Honest?
I am very honest, but I also stand my ground.
Okay.
And but when a client come into me with consultation, I say this to him like immediately: are you looking for something cheap and fast? Then I'm not the right artist for you. Period. Are you looking for someone who takes his time and try to create the best of the best? Then I'm the good artist for you. But of course, I'm a little bit more expensive than my other co-workers, other SMP providers in the Netherlands. But like I said, I don't want to do mass production. I prefer do less clients, give him a little bit more attention, and just create like a crazy good result.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
know?
agree. I talked to some people when I was first getting Scalp Micropigmentation, the guy who did my head. I was going down to Washington D.C. Dan Urenberg, who passed away, R.I.P. Dan. But he would have so many clients per day, and he would tell me, and this is no disrespect to him or anything, he's passed away, but he would say, Joey, I only want to work, 3 or 4 days, so I try to do, 4 people in one day. I'm like, damn, isn't that because he wanted to spend more time with his kids, and I understand, and I get that. But I was like, why don't you just spread it out? That was how he wanted to do it. But I agree with you. I only do one person, 2 people. I'll do 2 people but I won't do 2 first sessions. I will not do 2 first sessions. It's one session and then maybe a second or a third session or a touch up.
Everybody works at his own pace, and everybody does it in his own way. But if you can do everything in one day, or if you can do like multiple clients a day, it's good for you, good for your clients. But start showing healed results in raw, please.
I have that. I have that as one of my questions. Actually, one of the topics I want to bring up
Start
to you.
showing me this. Start showing me this, and then we can talk.
I had that list. I said, I noticed you've been posting a lot more healed results versus immediately after. Obviously, immediately after is always going to look great. I shouldn't say always. If the person knows what they're doing, it's going to look a lot better. The hair follicle replications are going to pop more. But we all know from experience, after a month, 2 months, 3 months, it's going to look different. It's going to be settled. And I noticed you've been posting it and it still looks good. It still looks good.
I learned a lot this last 2 years. But the thing that bothers me the most is that SMP in real life does not look the same as what I see on social media. Period. You can't change my mind. It's just the way it is. And there was this. You have this forum on Reddit. It's called SMP Chat,
I know about it.
and you can't post shit work over there. They're gonna burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
So those guys, when they said, yeah, when I posted the first time some results, they said, yeah, you have to post a healed result in different lighting settings and blah blah blah. And so I was okay. So the client is aware of this. We are not. The clients start to wake up. People that know SMP, they start to understand SMP. They start to realize that an healed SMP looks different than fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So what I actually did is when I did the woman with alopecia, it was like I wanted to do the best of the photos. So I went to this photography shop and I rented one of the best cameras they had with a lens and everything, but without any training how to make photos. So I said I want to see if you make a photo with a professional camera, if it looks different than with your iPhone. And after I saw the photos, they looked way much better, more quality, more depth, and I was okay. I need to buy a camera. So I went to this. I went back to the shop and I said, "Listen, I want the best of the best material," and I invested a lot of money. And the guy who was working there, I told him like I need some training how to use it. So he said, "Yeah, I can train you." So he's coming now every month in my studio. He's a professional photographer. So yeah, he's training me how to take photos,
You
and
still taking the training right now?
I'm still training every month. He's gonna come, so I'm still not done with the whole training. But what I find out is like he put this setting on my camera, and it was like when every time I take a photo, it's like 2 photos come at the same time. It's a RAW and a JPEG. So I started to dive deep into this whole photography scene. You can't listen. You can't. You can't edit a RAW photo and then save it again as a RAW. It's impossible.
I know.
At the moment you're gonna edit a raw photo, it's become a JPEG. So, or whatever. So I was okay. So now I have like a weapon about for this like fake results that we see on social media, you know. And so I say, okay, even if I'm gonna lose clients, maybe the clients see a result that's different than the fresh one, or maybe they don't like it. It doesn't bother me. I'm now like, okay, 100% transparency with my clients.
Mhm.
I want to show them that how S&P looks once healed, as at least my S&P. And to be honest, at the moment that I start doing this, I saw a lot of artists in the industry are following what I'm doing. They're doing the same things. They're making photos outside. I was the first one who started doing this. And the only thing I did was listening to the clients. The clients on Reddit, I was reading everything. I wrote all their comments. And it was loud and clear. They say, we want to see healed results in different lighting settings. They want to see, they just want to see the real deal, you know? They want to know, how does S&P look once it heals? But high quality images, no, not those. When you do it with the iPhone, the impressions are too small. With the iPhones, don't give you the, or smartphone, iPhone, doesn't matter. It doesn't give you the reality, the real picture of what S&P looks like. And that's just facts. And this is like just what it is. You know, even if you make a video, the impressions, they pop out more. They look darker, bigger. It's not the same. And the way I'm showing my clients now, it's the same as they are right here in my studio, you know.
What's up, S&P world? It's Chris with the Blends Protein. A lot of people are switching over to our products. The most realistic results are being put out using Blends products. These products were made for artists by artists. We want to make you a believer. Here's 20% off your first purchase. Use Dattie podcast. Blends for the most natural results in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's the client is becoming more educated.
Yes.
And because of that, the demand for quality is increasing and they want to know, what does it really look like? Um, you can clearly see on my head, this is, healed results.
Yes.
And this, you can't, the thing is, on those photos, everybody increases the sharpness, right? The sharpness is going to make it pop. That's what most people do, right? You take the photo, you increase the sharpness, and that's what's going to make the little hair follicle replications pop.
Yes.
And taking just a raw photo is just going to show you, what does it really look like. And I think that is good. That is a good thing for the industry. But like
Sure.
you said, you can also, there's a possibility people don't want to see that, and you might lose clients, but maybe you don't want those clients anyway,
Well, or you can do whatever. You can also see it the other way. You can also increase your quality, that you don't need to sharpen your photo. You don't need to edit your photos. You can just show what it looks like. But to do that, you really need to put in the hours.
Yeah,
Trust
you
me.
got to
You
step your game up. You definitely
step
got to
your
step
game
your
up.
game.
Step your game up. Is I was like, without disrespecting, I was in New York and talking with some of those big companies, and they need to make minimum amount like 60K only to pay everything. Pay the marketing team, pay the rent and everything. If you have to make every month 60K minimum, you can't take your time for all your clients.
No, the overhead is insane, and the cost in New York is insane.
But I respect people that if you live in a city in New York and you still are able to make money, it's already like very respectable. But you know, with S&P, if you're gonna rush the process, you know, let's be honest with each other. S&P, it tends to heal the way it heals. It's still a tattoo,
Mhm.
and we're working on skin, and skin is like it's a living organism. You just can't do whatever you like.
It's the biggest living organism.
That's why I say to people who are doing SMP, show us healed results in raw. Then we
Mhm.
can talk. So if you can do the whole session in one day, the 1 day sessions, whatever. In my opinion, I think it's better for darker skin. For the lighter skin, I don't think it's gonna work. But
It's not feasible for the lighter ones.
if that's gonna work, then I'm asking you, show me the healed results in raw. Not I can see if something is added.
What about Ronnie? What do you think about um, videos? So a lot of people been taking videos after. So you finish the procedure. This isn't later. This is immediately after. You spray the stuff on to take the redness down, all that jazz, so you can actually see it. And then people take videos. Do you trust the videos?
The video is also not trustable. Of course, when you are like experienced artist, you can see if it's a good job or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I can tell. I could
you
tell,
know,
but I can also tell if it's slightly edited. But I can also tell if it's actually going to be good long
yeah,
term. Like
yeah, of
I'll
course,
be able to spot it.
yeah, yeah. But when there was a guy when the first time the reclaimed pigments came in, so I was like testing these pigments and with the 2RL. So I did this guy, the guy that I did with the 3 scars.
Yeah,
Well, that result when it was fresh, it looked like fucking awesome, man. It was like one of the best results in the whole SMP in the industry. Let's be honest, it was like crazy. However, 1 year later, I took a photo in RAW and I saw some purple hues into it, and I say, okay, man, I don't want to I don't want to do all that effort, and then 1 year later, my works looks not like fresh one. And now I dived very deep into the biology of the skin. Especially this last year, I trained a lot. I read a lot of books about the skin and about our pigments, our ink, what we're using. And when I do SMP now, I don't think SMP is a liquid. I think SMP is a powder. Maybe it sounds crazy, but in my mind, I'm putting powder in somebody's scalp.
because it's just the powder mixed with the water.
Yes, the pigment is the powder, and then they're gonna make ink. They're gonna put some stuff into it, and they're gonna make it liquid. But the body will absorb the powder. Excuse me, the body will absorb the water that's inside of the pigment, and that makes the SMP looks very different. And I think all the SMP training should be based more on the anatomy of the skin, because in our industry, if you are a doctor or a dermatologist, you need to study years and years before you can even touch a human. But we can just do whatever we want. We buy a machine, nobody's gonna say something to us, so we can fuck people up. And I think a lot of artists, they take advantage of the fact that the client don't know how SMP should look like.
You're probably right. You're definitely
Because
right.
the most of the client reveals that I have like are from my work from 5 years ago, and my work 5 years ago, it does not look good. I'm telling you, it's not look good. My brother-in-law, I did him as an experiment 5 years ago. He loves the result. Every time I see him, I can cry. And he comes almost every day here in my studio, like he's hanging around, he lives in the area, and I say, please laser it off, let me redo it. But he say, no,
Uh,
I like it. And other people see his head and they like it. But his head is blue. His head is blue.
are you sure? Does it actually look blue?
Trust me, it looks blue. He don't see it, and other people don't see it. Some other people, they just grab his head and they look over his head. And I have to explain those guys 1 hour. Listen, this is not how SMP should look like. So, and then I show them the photos, the raw photos, how I do it now. It should be like individual dots, because if you do it this way, they're not gonna migrate together. So you have left room for future touch-ups. But hey, what can I do? People like a result that's very visible. Of course, you got also clients that really understand SMP, that they do research, and they say, okay, I want a result that not everyone can see. I got something on my head. Hey, but clients are different. We got so many people on this earth, and they have all different tastes. And I also say, if you're looking for an SMP artist, it's you have to look to an artist that can meet your expectations, that they have a style that suits your taste. You understand what I say?
Yeah, yeah, I
For
agree.
for for example, uh, if I'm gonna do a tattoo and I don't know, I want something like very dark or whatever, I'm not gonna go to a fine line
Yeah.
tattoo guy. I'm gonna go to a tattoo. So the same is with SMP. If you are a light skinned guy and you want like this supernatural result, nobody can detect, not even an SMP artist. You will see it, but it's not like overwhelming. Then I'm the right artist for you. I always say, you can be a very good SMP artist, but in my opinion, you also need a little bit of style. Now don't do the same for everyone. Just look at this guy's face, age, ethnicity, and make what suits him best. And I don't only talk about the hairline. I'm also talking about how dense, how dark. Most of the time people they say, yeah, they need to see how SMP should look like. If you have still hairs on the side of your head, shave it off. That's how it's supposed to look.
I
If you have
agree.
hair in, you just have to bring this on top. And if somebody has like very thick, dark follicles, very high density, and you want to bring this on here, but you don't want to, you want to cover like the blending into the 60 hair, existing hair, but don't add too much pigment on the front. So just a little bit more and then a little bit less on the front, so it still looks natural.
So you're saying add enough density to match what they have on the sides, but then once you get towards the top, go, spread it out a little bit more?
Spread it out, lighter pigment, a smaller needle, that kind of things. And I I respect some pioneers in the industry that they say like, listen, we have some problems with SMP, and like Anthony and Steven, they was like, okay, you can't. There is some problems. Anthony created this 2RL. Why? Because he say when you're gonna put too much pigment on the scalp, it's just gonna heal bad.
You're talking about true follicle.
I'm talking about Anthony from Two Folco. That's why he invented this needle. But on the other hand, I understand also the client. The clients they say, okay, I think it's too small. They want to see more. So
Mm.
it's always a fight between what the client wants and what you want, what you think is good. And the same with Steven. He invented this pigment that doesn't contain a lot of water, so it cannot spread out. You understand what I mean?
No, who are you referring to? Which pigment?
You know the permablend pigment.
Oh, Stevie G.
Stevie G, yes, he
Okay.
invented this. He invented this pigment because he saw the problems in SMP. And if there is a veteran that they see problems and they want to change something about it, I respect it. You
Yeah.
just say, okay, there are problems, and we need to do something about it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the other thing is, it's still new to everyone, right? I mean, it's let's say it's been around 14, 15 years, and real SMP, I would say, is less than I got mine in 2016. I'd say maybe 2015 is when people really started doing it. There's about 10 artists in the US in 2016. And I think we're also all kind of guinea pigs, the
Yes,
people who got it early
always
on. So we're
100.
continuing to learn. And unfortunately, some people, uh, they get the bad end of the learning curve. So, we learn, but I agree with you. I'm glad that people are learning and then making the adjustments and improving their products.
Yeah, but you know something. Look, I know that everybody wants to make their money and whatever, but SMP is just not for everyone. Not everyone can be an SMP artist. Everyone can learn it, but not everyone has, how do you say, the patience and to become better. So they are like I said, they take advantage of the client doesn't not know how a good SMP should look like. But the problem is that every bad result out there discourage thousands of potential clients. if you walk on the street and you see like a super bad result, hey, I'm not gonna tattoo my head. Are you crazy? I'm gonna end up like this guy.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So that's why if you're doing this for a long time, more than 5 years, and you still don't get it, maybe it's time to find another profession. You understand
Okay,
what I mean?
Ronnie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Ronnie.
Because
I think
we
you're
are
right.
because this is not. I think there are way much different ways of making money, more easy than S&P. And like I
Or
said,
be a
don't take it.
full-time trainer.
Whatever, be a full-time trainer. Maybe you are not a very good S&P artist, but you are a very good trainer. It's
You're
possible.
knowledgeable, right? You're knowledgeable.
Yeah,
You're
of
passion
course. So
knowledgeable.
some guys are like, I took a training of I took training, and when I take training, I'm always like, for example, I'm gonna make a stupid example. When I was in New York, I went to Stevie G's place to take a training, right?
Recently?
Yeah, recently, when I was before Meeting of Minds, I took a training together with Alex.
They were there? Stevie G was there nearby?
Yeah, his
Oh, I
studio
didn't know
is
that.
is in New York, so I took a training with him,
Mhm.
and I know that I'm very good artist, and also Alex Corona is also a very good artist. But we go there and we take a training, and some people send me a message. Oh, I thought that you was a trainer. You're not a student. And I told this guy, listen, I will be always a student, because if I can become better than I'm already now, it's always a bonus. We can always learn, and even if some of my creations looks better than some of my trainers, it doesn't mean that they know nothing, because I find out that all those S&P artists that has a wife, they're working in PMU, they have like this knowledge background from their wives. You understand what I mean? So
Yes.
Steven has took a lot of knowledge from his wife, and also from his ex-girlfriend, like Taryn. They know the skin very good. They understand the skin way much better, and then they make it for S&P. They make trainings for S&P. And now that I understand the skin very good, I don't think there are a lot of options. You don't have a lot of options to make an S&P look natural, and at the same time, after it's gonna heal, it's still gonna look good. If you understand what I mean, that you're not gonna get this full shaded head.
No, I agree, and I do understand what you mean, and I wanna touch on what you said about, the teacher-student. I think that you should always be willing to learn, because once you get to the point where you think, "I know everything, I'm the greatest, I could do everything," then you're only hurting yourself and you're hurting all your future, because technology is gonna get better, skills are gonna get better, needles are gonna get better, technique is
Yes,
going to improve. You should
of
always
course.
be willing to learn. If you have a closed mindset, you're not gonna get better, but I guarantee there's always room for improvement, and I love to
Always.
hear that, and I love what you said about it doesn't matter, if some of your I love that you said creations. Some of your creations look better than some of the teacher's creations. It doesn't matter, because 'cause I've also trained with at least six really good artists, not one-on-one trainings, but I've taken these trainings, and I've learned something from every single person. From
Of course.
and doing all these podcasts, I've learned from so many people, because everybody has a different way of doing things
Mhm.
and
Yes.
different background and approach. And you can and if you're willing to learn, then that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
good. That's good. That's good. S&P is, I don't, when, before we came into this podcast, there were so many things I wanted to tell and say, but sometimes you forget some things, and for example, some artists, like said to me, those S&P awards, they don't mean nothing. They said it right into my face. Some guys I know like personal, and some guys I only know through social medias. Okay, I never saw those guys in real life, and to be honest, I think the S&P award is more for a personal feeling, that you feel that you have, like, some people, how do you say, recognition for all the effort that you're doing. And at the same time, it's always good for marketing. But at the same time, once again, the client does not know shit of what you're doing. They don't know what's meeting of mind. They don't know what's wool up. They don't know what's eyebrow festival or whatever. So sometimes,
I
I
don't even
think,
know what the eyebrow festival is.
yeah, no, that's all this
The
organization.
PMU has so many goddamn events, I can't keep up.
Yeah, and why are we going to these events? Did you ever think about it?
I go. I'll tell you why I go. I go because I want to meet the people that I talk to on Instagram, Facebook. I'm a fan. If SMP is considered a sport, I'm a fan of the sport, and
Yeah,
that's why I go. That's why I go.
yeah, no, you're right. The first time I went is I was looking for answers.
Okay.
I was looking for answers, and that answer were like, how can I create better results? And of course, you wanna. To be honest, when I don't talk about SMP with regular persons. If I'm with a group of friends or whatever, I'm not gonna talk about SMP. If you don't do this work, or if you don't need it, it sounds almost, how do you say, ridiculous. I put dots on both heads. I don't want to talk about that. Only people that does the same profession, or people they need it, with them I will talk about it. So I have this chance of one time in a year, whatever, I can talk with people who share the same thoughts as I have. Well, this year, to be honest, I really went for the award, because I knew that how much effort I put into it this year, especially this last year, like sleepless nights. Like I said, thinking 24/7 about how can I improve. My clients are like, when I started out in February after my last training in Italy, I was like, okay, let's see. I want to challenge myself. How good can I do SMP? So I'm not gonna see, okay, the client has paid me this much amount of money, so I need to finish it in this time frame. No, that was completely off. And I saw, when you work with this mindset, you can create a result that really stand out. And living in the Netherlands, like I said, I live in a very small country. So some of my clients are like 10 minutes away. And if they are like 10 minutes away, when you are tired, even if you didn't finish his whole head, and you see that your working quality goes down, you just can stop. You stop, okay, listen, come back tomorrow, or come back the day after, you know, the day after tomorrow, so we can finish it. So I'm fresh in my mind, and I can finish your hairline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw that all my creations that are really stand out are, you know, I took my time. I took my time. That's it. I took my time. Some creations I had to let it heal like for 6 months. So I had like this very good foundation, and then I started to add some details and everything.
You're saying like you did the second session 6 months later, or the third?
No, no, not second session. Maybe the fourth session. Like I did three
Okay.
sessions. And then 6 months later, I did the fourth session. Maybe sometimes five. It depends. Depends how much, how far you want to go. You understand?
Yeah.
So and I saw that all my best creations are like guys that I took my time, work that I took my time. When this woman with alopecia came in, I saw her, and the first thing I asked her, I said, "Where do you live?" And she lived like literally 5 minutes away. She came walking. So I say, "Okay, bingo! I will use you to win meeting of minds in 24."
I
Because
love
I
that.
already I already saw the potential. Her head was not very big, and she had super beautiful face. So I
She
already
really is
planned.
a pretty girl. She really.
Yeah, so I already planned everything. I said to my wife, "Okay, I'm gonna go all out for her, and then you're gonna do their makeup. We are gonna hire like a camera, professional camera, and everything, And this situation, I also said, okay, listen, she was a student. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it free of charge. You don't
Wow.
need to pay me
That's
nothing.
nice of you. That's very nice of you.
I said to her, but give me the time to make a great result, okay? Because I need you for my portfolio. I need you to win the meeting of minds of 24. So I had to go all out, and I'm telling you, I did not finish in 3 sessions. I took way much more, and because I had to create like the shade effect all the way around. So I could not like make like really impressions. It didn't look. Her skin was very thin. So yeah, it was a challenge, but you know, when you take your time, you can make beautiful creations.
I agree. And I when I first started, my package deal for people would be, this is like the first 2 years I did it. I would do the 3 sessions, the standard, one, then wait a week or 2, do the second, then do the other one about, 6 weeks later. But then I'd offer a free touch-up 6 months later, and then 6 months after that, another free touch-up so I could see my healed work, and then I knew I was gonna be better, and then I would make it even better and even better. But I would offer that free. I don't do that anymore, because my demand is way up more up. But any new people listening to this, new artists listening to this, offer free touch-up sessions, just like Ronnie's talked about, just like I'm talking about, um, just so you can improve your skill and get better pictures as well and improve the result.
No, you have to understand that if you have the quality where you want to have it, clients cannot take disadvantage. How do you say? Disadvantage of you,
And
because you have the quality where you want to have it. So, like I said, you can really choose your clients, and it's a very nice way of working
yeah,
because you have to spend a lot of hours with your clients. So it's I need a good vibe with my clients. They
I
have to.
tell them to block out 4 hours guaranteed. Everyone who comes in here, block out 4 hours. We might get done sooner. Sometimes it go 5 hours.
Yeah, but maybe in the US, people are like, time is money. You are a little bit. Your life is a little bit faster. You live the fast life, but we here we don't live the fast life. We have
I'm
like,
jealous.
yeah, clients. When they come here, they know it's gonna take some time. I take my time. If you want to smoke, if you want to eat something, we're gonna eat. I'm all day for you. So
I love
I'm very
that.
like very fully booked the whole month of November, and
Mhm.
I only book 1 month ahead. And I have some international clients. To be honest, I prefer clients in my area, so I can take it a little bit more easy. International clients, I have to push a little
Well,
bit more. And
let's
when I
talk
say,
about that, Ronnie. Let's talk about that because I think that's a big topic with people. People traveling a distance to come get SMP from you, it puts a lot of pressure on the artist because unless they're a rich person, right? Unless they have a lot of money, they're not going to keep taking basically taking a full day off, either flying to you or driving a long distance, hours away. They want to see a fucking result pretty much immediately, a good result. And it's kind of difficult, especially if you need the money, to convince them, hey, I just did a little bit, this is the safest way. How do you deal with that when people are coming in long distances and they want to
okay,
see that
first of
result?
all, my first rule every time when someone from another country reach out to me, listen, my doors are always open for everyone who wants to get a treatment of me. But the first question I'm asking them, what are you looking for? What's your skin color? And where do you live? Maybe I know an artist in your area that can give you almost the same result as mine. That's the first thing that I tell those guys because those people, they don't know, like we know all the artists, but they don't know all the artists in their area. So they maybe saw some crazy result of mine on Instagram and they say, oh, I want this guy to do it. So maybe they have an artist just around the corner. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
I did that before you came here. I told somebody about that.
I just tell those people go to him, and so they go, most of the time they're gonna watch his Instagram, and sometimes they go, but sometimes they also said no, I really want you to do it, and if you want me to do it for international clients, I will book them 2 days up in a row.
You'll
I
do
will
it
book
back to
them.
back.
Yeah, I will do the first day the backside and the next day the hairline. I don't
So
do
you're not going through the whole head and then going in between the next day. You're saying you do
no, no,
part
no.
and then front. Okay.
Yes, that's how I do it because I want, when they go away, I want to have a good solid foundation for the next time they come back. So that's just because I don't like to work with pressure. I already told you, I came in a point in my life that I really can enjoy doing SMP. So I try to avoid this kind of pressure because I want to go with that I really want to go to my work. I feel I'm gonna create some good work today.
Yeah.
So I say to those clients, just book a hotel, give me 2 days. In those 2 days, I can give you way much more attention. And yeah, that's the way how I do it. That's how I do it. I don't tell other artists to do it in a different way, but that's my way of working. I created my own space, my own pace, and my own style. And I don't like people put pressure on me. They're already doing it because when they come from another country and they say, I don't care how much I have to pay, and I just want the best of the best results. Of course, I feel the pressure, you
Mhm.
know, because this guy really wants good results, so you have to give it your all. Of
Yep.
course, I always give my all. I will always do that. But when the clients also expect it, you feel it. It's just part of the game.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that feeling, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna try my best every time, right? Obviously, every time
Yes.
I step to the head, I want to do performing to my best, and that's why I do all these things, working out and all this stuff before I do SMP. When it comes to scalp micropigmentation, you need tools you can trust. That's where InkU SMP products come in. Jade needles are designed for precision and durability, giving you consistent, flawless results every time. Pair them with InkU pigment, a rich, long-lasting formula your clients will love. Keep things smooth with InkU butter, perfect for soothing and protecting the skin. And finish strong with antimicrobial foam cleanser for a clean, worry-free healing process. Ready to take your SMP game to the next level? Visit inkucare.com today. InkU SMP products are made for artists by artists.
For me personal, I treat all the people the same. I don't care how much money somebody's gonna make. You can be a garbage man or you can be whatever. I don't make any difference over these people. No, no. I really, if you respect me, I respect you back. That's it. And I feel now lately that the clients that come in now, they do some research, and some guys they really have to save some money before coming in. Some people like they're saving up money for a couple of months. Some guys for a year, and then they're gonna come to my place to do the SMP, and they say you are very expensive. Like I'm maybe double or triple of some other guys here in the Netherlands. But hey, listen,
You're paying for the quality.
you pay for all my investments that I made and the time that I make, and I just do my best. The
Yeah.
best. If you are a light skinned guy, and I can give you like this crazy, hyper realistic results, and you will see. I have some new results coming in the next month. Healed results. I already saw those guys. It's like there is almost no difference between the healed and the fresh, and there is only a big difference when the first skin layer is very thick. Because I always say to the client, how your SMP is gonna end up looking once healed. It depends about the thickness of your skin also. So if your epidermis, excuse me, the first skin layer is very thick, it acts like a filter, right? So you look at the pigments through the first skin layer. So you really, like I said, I see my pigments as powder.
I love that, by the way. I haven't heard anybody say that yet.
Yeah, it's like this pigment, like this, for example. Now this is ghost. What's it? What's this? Ghost, for example. What is this? This is a powder. The powder is pigment. They're gonna bring it to a factory. They're gonna add some distilled water and some binding components, iron oxide, titanium oxide, whatever, nickel.
You're not supposed to add that, by the way.
Yeah, but
I know. I know.
okay, they do it. They do it, and they put some. Sometimes there are some ingredients that is not written on the bottle. I think because they want to make an ink that when the artist is working, they feel it stick better to the skin. And if you don't put those binding components inside, at the moment your body's gonna pull out the water, the pigment powder will fall apart. They're gonna
Yeah.
get a cloud. So if you're gonna put those irons or whatever inside, it's gonna stay more like a dot.
Yep.
So I always think about my ink. It's a powder. So that's how I also put my pigments into the skin. It sounds crazy, but this is how I do it, and it works.
It's
It
not
works.
crazy. Do you use different colors or do you only use black?
I only use, let me see, I use black, but I neutralize it with this one,
You
dynamic.
I used a dynamic, okay.
But for the neutralizer, and actually work with everything. I use everything. What I think, that's why if you look at my hilt works, they always look a little bit different. They are not like two the same. They are like, if you put two. First of all, I take my photos in RAW, so there is no filters over it. So then there will always be a little bit of a difference,
Mhm,
because if you look at somebody's page and you're gonna compare all the SMPs and they have the same structure every time with a different hairline, it's impossible. It's impossible because the thickness of the skin varies from one client and another.
mhm.
So if you have, like, for example, I did a guy who was a little bit older, so his skin was super thin. And when he came in for the hilt results, his impressions, they really popped out. You can really see the impressions very, very clear. And I done a guy. He was like in his 20s, and his skin layer was super thick. So when he came in for the hilt results, you can see them. They were not like super visible as the guy from a certain age, because the skin thickness varies.
And you gotta use a bigger needle too. At least I have to use a bigger needle on the thicker skin.
Yeah, you can use a bigger needle, or you just
Slow the
recall.
speed down.
Yeah, slow the speed down. So you can recall your dots a little bit more times.
Yeah,
That kind of things. So you can adjust your techniques, and so. But yeah, I think SMP is, we just do whatever the best we can do. More than that, we can't. And it doesn't matter how good you are as an artist. You will always make some mistakes. That's life.
agreed.
Like surgeons,
No one's perfect. No one's
no one is
perfect.
perfect. Even surgeons sometimes make mistakes. And I think, but it's very good to see your own mistakes. You have to see if something is not good, and I don't need somebody else to tell me if my work is not good, because I can see it also. Understand
Agreed.
what I mean? And if I see that something is off, I will try to do it better. But I will also admit it. Like
Yeah.
when the first time the pigments of the new pigments came in. Yeah, I made some problems for myself and my clients. The clients didn't see it, but I saw it, and
What do
I
you mean when
told
the
them.
new pigments came in? Like the new brand or new
No, no, the reclaim pigment when it just came in,
okay.
the Stevie G pigments
Okay.
when they came in August 23. I went in 100%. I didn't even did a touch pass, boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
My friends came and I fucked up.
Yeah.
I had to laser it everything off, because I was used to the carbon blacks, and the carbon blacks are highly diluted, so they are not very concentrated. But this pigment is super concentrated. It when you put it in the skin, you don't see nothing, and then 2-3 weeks later, they're gonna pop out super dark. So I think you need different brands, different type of pigment, different type of needle, and then you have to adjust on the skin you get on the table, in your treatment chair. I always listen to the client's preferences. So what do you want? So I listen to their stories, and if I can meet their expectations, I will do it. And if I think this guy, whatever I'm gonna do, I can't make it happy. I decline the job. But the client, I tell them, listen, you are not in charge here. I decide what happens. I tell them, no, I really tell this to the
I
client. You
like
are not.
that.
No, I say, listen, I'm not gonna do what you want, because I've listened to my clients, and I fucked up because
Mhm.
I was listening to those clients. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing, and if you want a little bit more, the client, oh yeah, I want more, I want more, I want more, and then you're gonna end up with an SMP that clearly looks like a tattoo.
I've made the mistake too, Ronnie, and it sucks
Everyone.
because people, I mean, I still have text right now, people text me, "Hey Joey, I want it a little bit darker." And I'm like, and I try to explain it to them and they're like, "I don't care, I want it darker." sometimes you just have to put your foot down and be like, no, I'm not doing it. You know, even if they're willing to pay you more, because I think a lot of people get caught up with that because they want the money, right? So like, okay, I'll do another session. But sometimes if you don't want a bad review long term, if you don't want a bad result, you have to put your foot down and say no. Because I know if I continue to add more, it's going to be oversaturated. It's going to look like shit in a couple years.
That's it. When you are starting to winning awards, you're gonna get recognition that you are a good artist. Can you imagine one of my work is gonna end up in the treatment chair of another SMP artist? They're gonna make photos. They're gonna say, "Ah, this guy's talking. He's the best and whatever," and he produced shit work. And I don't
Yeah.
want it. I have already enough creations that I'm not proud of it. And that's, some guys, I've seen some guys, they do it for 2 years and they're already very good. For me, it took me a little bit longer. I needed like 4 years or only to warm up. But after when I entered my fifth year, I was like, okay, now I really understand what I have to do. And my evolution in SMP was like 4 years of warming up, and then it was like boom. I immediately I saw my result. They changed, like not a couple of percentage, but they became very high at once, and that's because I really understood the skin. First of all, second of all, I took training of all the leading artists in the industry. So I took it. My first training, I don't count that. My first training, I learned how not to do it. So then I took training of Mark Allen. Then Ivan trained me, and
Ivan's
then
great. Ivan's really
yeah,
good.
he's a good trainer. So then I was hanging around with leaders. So I saw Picasso work, I saw Jay work, I saw Masood work. So I was watching those guys working.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
They're all
So I
really good.
saw. Then I took training from Stevie G. But the training, I think Stevie G was one of the most important training because he really made me understand the skin. But the training that really made me a better artist was the training of Tony. I went to Italy and I took those 2 days training, and I think he's the best trainer, the best SMP trainer
Tony
out there.
Abagato.
Yeah,
Shout
yes,
to
I think
Tony.
I think I think he's the best SMP trainer out there. I'm honest. Maybe you don't like his style, it's possible, but as SMP trainer, he's very good. And after his training, I came back in my studio and I get my first client, like a very super big and bald head. And I said to the guy, listen, I'm gonna try something new. I learned some new techniques. I want to go all out for you, so I'm not gonna stick to the standard 3 session plan. And that result was crazy. And I saw him 6 months later. My result 6 months later was for 75%, no more, no more. I have the results in my phone. So the hilt result was like 95%. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating the numbers. 95% the same as the healed one.
Wow.
Excuse me,
Wow.
the healed and the fresh were almost similar. 6 months later,
It still looked that good.
it still looked that good. So I was like, okay, from now on, I'm gonna. I adjusted my technique, and I think I'm still in developing phase now. It's now. I started in February, changing my approach. So it's still in a phase of developing, and I have now. I have some work that is almost ready. This guy is gonna come in 3 weeks. I don't know how, but really, I did a side. I did. You can see the difference between the real follicles and the fresh. You really have to touch it. I'm not saying it because it's my work. I'm very critical. I'm just saying it. If my work's not good, I'm gonna say it. But I produce SMP work in a way I want to trick my own eyes. I want to trick the eye of an SMP artist. I don't need to trick the eye of the client, because the client, they are when they see a hairline, it's okay. Like I said,
They're
my brother,
happy. They're just happy.
my brother-in-law, if I see his work, he's got a blue helmet,
He's
and
haunting
everybody
you.
everybody loves it, and everybody don't see it that it's tattooed. So I don't want to impress my clients. I want to impress myself. You understand what I mean?
I
If you have this
100% know, man.
mindset, you can make very crazy results.
Everybody's their own worst critic, but I
Yeah.
think it's good to be a critic of your own work because that's the only way you're going to improve. Because if you just do it and you're like, oh, that's great, you should try to find flaws in your work because that's the only way you're going to get better.
Yeah, but like I said, it's also you made a prison in your own mind. Trust me, I was like before SMP, I was like when I was a bus driver, I had so many hobbies. Now I still go to the gym daily, but I did also motorcycle racing.
Really?
Yeah, I loved my motorcycles was like my real passion. I had like I did track riding and everything. I had like a very nice motorcycle, BMW, Ducati. They were my big passion, and
Did you ever get
I
fucked up?
yeah, I did, of course, but I lost my passion of motorcycle racing because I am scared that I'm gonna break my arm and I can't work anymore.
Oh,
So
I
this
know. I feel that way. I don't even want to
like I
list.
said, this S&P brought me some very good things in my life, very good things like the freedom of like doing my own thing. I don't need to listen to any boss. I can wake up whenever I want. I can take my clients whenever I want. I do whatever I want. It's a very satisfying feeling, you know,
I agree.
to do
Yeah.
whatever you want. But at the same time, like I said,
You could say whatever you want too.
in my mind, sometimes I'm thinking 24/7 about S&P. I dream about S&P. When I go out with my son, he say to me, sometimes I talk to myself about S&P. I just moving my arm and talking about S&P. And my son is next to me. He say, Dad, what are you doing? Why are you talking to yourself? It's crazy. You know what I mean? And yeah.
You're
Anyway,
not
I think,
alone, Ronnie. You're not
yeah, yeah.
alone. I do the same fucking shit. I do the same shit.
But
And there's not I don't think that it's just because we're in our own head. We're in our own head. I'll be in the kitchen and my wife can tell that I'm basically talking to myself, cuz my head the way my head moves and I'm just like, I'm almost having a conversation in my own fucking head. You know what I mean? And it might look crazy on the outside, but to me, I'm making progress with my thoughts, with
yeah,
myself.
yeah. I will give this industry one final message, a very important one. It's a message about transparency, honesty, and also for the new artists. Social medias does not most of the time does not reflect on the reality. So try don't like I said. Maybe it's when I was before I went in leaders, I was like desperate to get into a group. It's very crazy. I didn't need the money, but I just wanted to be part of something. And like this sponsored artist and everything. But at the end of the day, what does that mean? What does it mean if you are a sponsored artist? You're
Doesn't
not
mean
gonna get more clients. You can buy your stuff with a little bit of discount. That's it. Those guys who make the needles, who make the pigments, those are the guys who are getting rich with your skills. You understand? So you're gonna make a very good work, and then they say, you see, he made this work because he used my pigment, because he used my needle, you know, and he is influencer or whatever. And I wanted to be part of this fucking freak show, this circus. And now that I've seen the reality behind it, it's a world that created on social media based on, yeah, I don't know, on marketing strategies. Let's say it in a very polite way, because it's like marketing strategies, okay?
it's exactly
But
what it is.
yeah, but at the end of the day, the clients, they don't know what is influencer, or they don't know what is leaders. They don't know what is bishop. They don't know what is ghost. I was like, there was a pigment brand that they say, okay, I'm gonna make you sponsored artist. In those 2 years that I'm a sponsored artist, they never gave me one sample for free. I had to buy my own stuff without any discount. Why are you sponsoring me then?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't believe in this bullshit. There are only 3 people in this industry that helped me free of charge without me asking nothing in return. They reached out to me by themselves. First of all, Stevie G. He was here in Netherlands. He told me a lot about the skin. He didn't charge me. Then you have Anthony from True Follicle. He phone called me in like video in a video, and he showed me how to use his needles. And you got Taryn. Taryn, she said to me, I think that you are one of the best artists in the world now, and I can help you become even better. So we did a video consultation, not a consultation, but a training about a lot of things on how the skin works, you know, because TVG explained me, but he used too much difficult words,
Yeah.
and if
The
you have,
papillary layer.
yeah, yep, you have to keep it a little bit simple. So she explained me in simple terms, like how the skin works, and I immediately understood, and I adjusted my treatments to it, and my treatments went up. So those are the only three that did something for me without me have to pay something for it, you know, just
Well,
helping me like this. The way of presenting yourself on social media platforms of all these big names, they can be misleading. That's what I wanna say. And for the beginner, for artists who are not on a very high level, it can be stressful because they consumed a lot of years of my life because I wanted to become one of those guys. You know, I want to have this recognition, and that's why I'm also a little bit against it. You know, just keep it simple. You know, just show results. You understand what I mean? I don't want to say it. I don't want to talk. This is not talking bad about nobody. You know, but this is just my personal experience. You know, at the end of the day, when you see this very beautiful logo and all these master trainers together with a nice music, you think, wow, I want to be part of that. But at the end of the day, it's just a guy behind his laptop with some photos, and he's gonna put something together and the music, and that's it. Okay, it's not like really something crazy or something special, you know. We are making dots on bald heads. We help people who has a problem, you know. We are not here, we can't cure cancer or whatever, you know. Some guys in the industry, they act like they are like gods. You understand what I mean? And that's a thing that I have a problem with. Yes, sorry, I have a problem with that. I don't like it, and I speak up about it. And if you are like this super good artist, okay, show me your health results. But if you show your health results, show them in raw. Let's see if you are good as you are talking, you know. At this moment, I don't see a lot of artists showing me those kind of results like in raw format, okay? And I'm training with this photographer. I can see if something is photoshopped or not. So you can play these games with your clients, but not with me. You know, I can see it. And it's not gonna take long before I'm not gonna call anybody out. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna inform the client. I'm gonna inform the clients about it, and I'm working together with a professional photographer at this moment. I'm working together with a professional graphic designer at the moment, and we are creating a PowerPoint how to spot Photoshop results, how to spot video edits, and I'm gonna only use my own work of it. So I'm gonna show you the difference between fresh. I'm gonna show you the difference between fresh and healed, and I'm gonna Photoshop my own work so you can see the difference. So the clients, they know where to look and how to understand. So we can create this transparency. And if we do it all together, you have to understand. If we go everybody together, 100% transparency, you will see that the people that really deserve to be an SMP artist, they will stay. And those other people that, like I said, maybe it's better to find another profession, they will leave altogether. But we have to do it together. I can't do it alone. That's it. That's my final message.
Well said, Ronnie. I just want to touch on that. I know exactly what you mean in terms of deception with the marketing, of making it look like it's a lot, making it look like a certain lifestyle, right? So and I've talked to many people have had the same concerns, I'll say, as you, or brought this topic up. People will make a cool video and make it look like it's all glamorous, blah 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 blah, about being an SMP artist. And but really what matters is the people coming through your door are trusting you, they are choosing you, and you need to produce the best results as possible. All the other stuff is bullshit.
Yes.
Okay. You just need to produce high quality results, each and every person. I completely agree with you. I also think it's part, and I'm glad that you're going to do you're stepping up and you're going to make this PowerPoint to educate the client, because I think when the client can only find, although they can't, but if they do enough research, they'll be able to read through the bullshit, because there's a lot of bullshit. But if you dig hard enough, you can find out who the real ones are and who are the bullshitters. But you have to do the research. But unfortunately, there's a lot of clients that only do surface level thinking, just like in anything in life. They just do surface level thinking. They're not getting granular. They're not getting into the weeds, and they're not trying to find out what the fuck is this person about. Can they help me? And
Yes.
and if you're someone who wants to be an SMP artist, you have to know that it requires an extensive amount. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It requires thousands of hours of practice and learning, and
Yes.
and working on real skin and making mistakes and possibly paying for laser and fixing it, and headaches and crying. It requires all of that. Um, and you have to go into it and be dead fucking serious. Don't sell a fake dream. If you're going to sell, you want to do your marketing the way you want to do your marketing, just be brutally honest about what it takes to be an SMP artist, be a successful SMP artist, I should say. Yeah, I love that you're doing that. I really do.
Some things I always say, money comes and goes, but good reputation stays. And
Big news for the SMP world. Follicule has just dropped their new Scalp pigment. It's bigger, better, and made with Hanafi Color Pigments, one of the largest pigment manufacturers in the world. Not only is this pigment backed by world-class expertise, but they are giving you more of what you need. That's right. Their new, bigger bottles mean you have enough pigment to do 20 to 25 sessions in just one bottle. And because you're part of the Dattie podcast community, we're offering you an exclusive deal. 15% off all pigments and aftercare products when you use the code DADDY at checkout. Take your SMP game to the next level with Follicule Pigments. Go to the Follicule website. Get it now.
like I said, everyone is entitled of his own opinion and the own way of doing things. But yeah, I was also like delusional about all this freak show. Sorry, circus. I don't know how we can how we
You're
can
good.
how
You're
we
good.
can
You're
tell
good.
it. Like some things they have nothing to do with SMP, and but still you're making this cool video like you are like you are this movie star. Some people they maybe miss their call. They could have become movie stars because I see some videos. They are so good, so cool. You maybe had to go to Hollywood, whatever, and
You didn't
maybe
like the video I made of you, Ronnie?
no, your video. I think you understand. I think you understand. I think you understand. Yeah, I think you understand what I mean. And
I know.
some recent happening in the industry that made me reflect about those kind of things. And like I said, the client wants to see honest and transparency, and I'm gonna give it to them. They will see how S&P will heal. I will show healed results more and more. And to be honest, I am proud of my own work. Like since the last year, before, you know, it's very crazy. I made my neighbor. He has like this guy with a beard. He's seen by many but as one of the best S&P results ever. A lot of guys see this result. I wanted this. I want this. So many likes, and they're not fake likes. Everything's real. I don't have fake followers or fake likes or whatever. Sometimes I think, how can I have like 4,000 followers? Because 4,000 people are interested in me putting bots on bald head, on bald heads. It's almost incredible. And then I see people, they have like 200K followers. What are you talking about? 200,000 people, they like to see you put dots on bald head. Come on, man. Don't they? Those people, they
Maybe
believe
they're in
in.
India and there's a
They,
billion
yeah, they
people.
they believe in their own in their own lies. So and so like this results, like I'm saying, like when I see this guy, it looks good, but I saw as a professional, I see a lot of mistakes, and but people like it. They say, "Man, I want this," and I say, "No, it can be better." Like the guy that I did, he was drinking the coffee. I think he at this moment he's one of my best results because you have like all individual dots, and I layered them like to perfection, a very broken up hairline. He's gonna come in next month for the healed results, and then I'm gonna make the photo exactly in the same settings, and I'm gonna show exactly what's healed and what's fresh, so people they can understand like what's the difference. And yeah, for the rest, nothing, man. I already reached a goal in my life, and that's doing whatever I want. So I
Wow.
don't want I don't want to become bigger because I already some people they said, yeah, we're gonna do some franchise, we're gonna do this, and like winning awards. When I came back from the awards, already people from China they were inviting me on their expense to come there and talk on stage and blah blah blah. But hey, if you become bigger, you're gonna you know that the eye of the tiger, you're gonna lose your passion for glory, you know.
I think about that a lot, actually.
And
Yeah.
I see a lot of artists. They start to get a lot of money, and then you can do
Quality goes
it.
down.
Quality goes down. It's like this. But because if you don't take a lot of clients and you just do it, you take it easy. You just can give the quality. And I'm already 42, So this is my. I think this is my end station. Like I have already like build up a nice future for myself and for my son when he's gonna grow up. I got some real estate that he can benefit from.
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
travel. I can eat whatever I want, and that's it. I don't have to need to become a millionaire. I just want to go to the gym. I just want to enjoy my free life, and I just want to eat whatever I want, and just doing SMP and try to every work that comes in to make it look better than the other one. That's it. I don't want much in my life.
I love that. I love that. And I heard, you know who Joe Rogan is, right? So
Yes.
Joe Rogan talks about, because he's been getting more and more rich, and the richer you get, he said, yeah, you eventually you get used to it, but he said something that never changes is the food. And I love that you just said you just want to eat whatever. He loves being able to eat whatever he wants, to make enough money to eat whatever he wants. And I love that you said that, because it's
That's
true.
nice.
It's true. You want to eat what food is always going to. If you like a certain, it's always going to taste good every time. Every time.
Of course. So that's it. And at the end of the day, it's a very short journey. Listen, I am 42. What's your age? I didn't ask.
I'm
What's your age?
37.
37. Okay. Like
We're halfway done.
we're halfway done. You know that it's not gonna take long. It's not gonna take long. We will become old and our children will become big and then we die. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What do we have to do here? So maybe also a message for me in the S&P industry, and I was also part of the problem. I think there is some people hate each other in this industry. This industry is a bitchy industry. It is a bitchy industry. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I see those guys. This one is talking bad about this. This is and I was also part of the problem, and I realized that, I say, okay, man, this maybe sometimes you're gonna go to these events and. If you see someone that maybe you have some beef on social media, just go and talk to the guy. Maybe he's cool. Social media fucked up a lot of people. Huh?
Yes,
Social
sir.
media, listen, social media is created by the devil. You can tell me whatever you want.
It
You can
is
tell me whatever you want.
the
It's fucked
social
up.
media is a game, and we're all in this experiment of a game.
Yes.
People only Most people, I say 99% of people only post highlights. They don't show you the bad
Yes.
stuff. They don't show you
So
the bad
social
stuff.
media is very dangerous, very dangerous. It can make you or break you. You can make a lot of money with it. For like I
It's
said,
addicting.
it's addicting. You're always on that fucking phone, And before I had social media, that's why I had my first social media is 2020.
I know that blows my mind that you said you've
I
only been
had
on like
social
five,
media.
6 years, right?
Fuck, man, it's the best. It's the worst decision in my life.
Well, you
But hey,
need
I
it for
had to.
marketing. You have
I
to
had it.
market.
I had to, and I chose only one platform that works the best for me, and that's Instagram.
I'm not on
Because
TikTok. I'm not on
TikTok
TikTok.
is very difficult. I don't like TikTok, and the
I don't
photos get
trust the
the photos
yeah,
and the videos get compressed, so the quality goes down. On Instagram, it's a very easy
yeah.
to show your work. And in the beginning, I had only clients from Google, but now I have only clients from Instagram. They see my results and they want my work. So, I need it, but at the same time, sometimes I'm thinking about when I reached like a decade. So I'm going now my 6th year, almost the 6th year of SMP. I hope that in 4 years I don't need to use any more social, to be honest. Only
Right.
website.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know the feeling, buddy. I
I
know the
hope
feeling.
that I did that I because I made some friends, but I also made some, yeah, not enemies, but some people we don't talk anymore, and they were good guys. You know, I regret it. I regret some things. Like I said, my tongue is very long. Sometimes I just say whatever I think, and it can cause damage. You know, so
I think it's
yeah. But at the same time, I'm also not a liar. So if I say something, it's because it's true. You know, I will never tell a lie. But you know, sometimes it's better to just keep your mouth shut and keep everything to yourself. But it's not always possible. You know, sometimes
I've
you,
had to learn the hard way, Ronnie. I've had to
yeah.
learn some of the things that I post that are not even SMP related.
The
I'm
first time,
passionate. The things that I want to talk about, I'm very passionate about.
the first time I really post something like crazy, it was like, so there is a clinic here in the Netherlands. Huh? They do this. They were the first one. They do this now for almost 20 years. So they were also the first one who introduced it, MHP, the name. They fuck up people on a regular basis, man. And there was really their results are very bad. And so a guy came in with the result was like one of the worst I ever saw. And you know what I did? I took a video and I posted on my story and I tagged them. I say, look how
Oh
your work
shit!
I say your work looks like shit, you know. How can you do this? How can you do this? You're doing it for so long time. So we had some problems. And after that, I had some guys, you know, they saw my Instagram and they say, hey, your work looks way much better than I have on my head. And then they come in and their head is a mess, like it's a total mess.
Uh,
And they say to these people, no, it's normal like this. It should be. And then it's not normal because they are botched very bad. So what I do is I make a diagnose, like a professional diagnose, and they go back to those guys, and now they have to laser everything off. And one guy, it really went out of control. He really wanted to destroy the company. He said, "I'm gonna destroy those guys. I'm gonna put my photos everywhere." I calmed him down. I said, "Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Talk to them. You know, try to find a solution." Those people, they hate me, but at the same time, even though they are like my competitioners and they have like the most clients, they will always have more clients than me. But I don't fucking care because I don't want a lot of clients. I
yeah.
just want, you know, I'm exclusive. That's you can tell whatever you want. You have like Volkswagen and Ferrari. Volkswagen will produce 10,000 cars a year and Ferrari will produce maybe only 10, you know.
Yeah.
I prefer to produce 10 good S&P a year. I don't want to do mass, you know. So anyway, this guy wanted to destroy the company and I said to him, don't do it. And he listened to me. So I saved this guy, this company. And he said to me, yeah, they say to me that my head is normal. So I said to him, you know what you have to do? Do you know before and after scalp micropigmentation on Facebook? Just upload the photo over there and ask those. Ask the whole S&P community if it's normal. But don't put any names. So he put his photo there. So those guys are on the same page and they were like, fuck, now we are fucked, you know?
You talking
So
about the big Facebook group?
yeah, the big Facebook group where all those shitty results are out there,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that group is like crazy. And
26,000 people, I think.
yeah, 26,000 people. And I see they upload like one of the baddest work I see there. And the artists don't talk. We don't talk. We don't support each other. I see Photoshop results. I see bad results, and no, and Jonathan Garreau likes everything. It doesn't matter if it
Well,
looks
because
bad or
it's his page.
it's his page. Okay, but if it's his page, he needs to take care of it.
He's just keeping it going. He's giving a platform for people to post so they can call each other out. You know, he's just likes it to keep it going. Just to
Okay, okay,
to
okay, okay.
more of like an acknowledgement.
But anyway, I see very bad results over there, and people they don't say nothing. And we are all artists, so if we are an artist,
I'm guilty of looking at it and being like, this looks like shit, but I'm not going to say anything. You know why? Because fuck them. You know, learn on your own.
you
I
know,
don't know.
sometimes I say, yeah,
If it
sometimes
was
there
my
was
student, yeah, I would tell. Of course,
there was a guy from Turkey. He's doing this for 15 years. He is like he fucks up people like real bad time, man. How can you do this? You know, people, they have problems, and then you're gonna ruin their lives like this. You know. And last time I just said, listen, if you're doing this for so long, maybe it's better for you to find another profession. You know, I just say it. Like I said, I sometimes I just say what I think, and I don't have any problems to say this something in the face of people.
Yeah.
If if I talk face to face to someone, and I was on meeting of minds. I said to one guy, listen, you have to change something. You can't go on like this. Your results look like shit. You're doing it for so long time. You took so many trainings. Why are you still oversaturating the scalp? I just said it to him.
What they say.
Yeah, that's my style. I said, no, it's not good. You're doing it too fast. I also had like a veteran. He came to take a training with me, and I showed him my health results. He doing this more than 10 years. And he said literally to me, like, I never seen good health results like this, but your technique is too slow. I'm not going to do it. So that's why I start to realize that S&P is not for everyone. You have like, in this industry, you got businessmen and you got like artists, you know.
That's true. That's
And
true.
I'm an artist. I know what I'm good at. And when the canvas come in, I say, okay, this I can make a good work. I ask significantly more money than the rest, but hey, listen, I'm gonna go all out. I'm not gonna care, even if you have to come visit my shop for 10 times. I'm gonna do it, even if it's 20 times. I'm gonna
Ronnie,
continue until
you
it's
know what
perfect.
I think why I think you're a little bit different, before we wrap this up, is because why you could take your time is because, I think doing the manual labor, doing, projects, construction,
Yeah,
you have to take your time. There's many times when I've rushed on construction projects and you fuck it up and you're like, "God damn it." But if you take your time and you understand that it's a whole process of building
yeah.
up till you have the completion, and if you miss one of those steps, the end result is gonna look like shit. It's gonna look like
Yeah.
shit. Uh,
Well, it's not a. Excuse me if I interrupt you. It's not about because I did labors. It's because I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah,
I don't need the money.
that's true. That's
I
true.
don't need the money. I'm honest with you. I don't need the money. And if I have like this multiple business, and especially the saloon where my wife works. She is one of the best hairdresser in the Netherlands. That business is a gold mine. It's always running. We have employees there. It's running. It's running. Money comes always in. I don't need to. I don't need to be afraid that I don't have money. So when I have clients, I'm very picky. I don't need to do it. There was a time I was desperate for clients, but not because I needed the money. I was desperate for clients because I needed to make a lot of dots. How more? Because
Build your portfolio.
I knew every dot, every new dot I'm gonna make I'm gonna reach the goal where I'm now. Because
Yeah,
I don't want to become the best artist in the world. I don't care about it. I want to become the best artist I can possibly be.
agreed.
I have a vision in my mind, and I think that S&P should look like a clean shaved head. That if a guy walks on an event like Meeting of Minds, where all artists are, they can't see it's fake. That's what I think it should look like.
How'd you
You
think
know,
mine looked, Ronnie?
yours okay, but I can tell you have S&P.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can tell.
yeah.
That's the and I want to create the result that I'm creating now. When those guys are in front of me, how I judge S&P. If I can see with my professional eye at the glance, like I see those guys, I say, okay, this is S&P, this is S&P, it's filled. If I look at it and I say, okay, is this S&P or real hair? And I really have to take my time, like I don't see it immediately.
Mhm.
Then it's in my opinion, like how I see it, then it's a success.
Fair. I think it also depends on how much hair loss a person has too, right?
Of course. I saw on Meeting of Minds two results that I really liked. The guy was David Santiago, the one he had on his head, but he also had a lot of hairs.
Yeah, yeah, he's got
So
man.
he's not totally bald, but it was very light. And the other guy, he came in with his wife from Toronto, I think.
Oh
He
yeah, 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 ink to scalp.
Yes, he also had like a very nice S&P, but those were the S&P are like very natural.
Yeah.
And those S&P that they load too much. The one that I was thinking it was the worst is for the guy with the big beard. His S&P was like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
oh
Mike
my
has
god,
to get
man!
it fixed. Yeah, Mike
His
has to get.
SMP was. I liked his hairline, the shape, but his whole head was like super blue.
Yeah,
And,
I
that's
think
not
he's
how.
aware of that. I think he's working on it. I think
Yeah,
he got it
I
early.
talked to him. I talked to him. I talked to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the problem with SMP. SMP don't age well. That's it. SMP
Mhm.
don't age well. And if you want to make it age well, at least you have to adjust some things. But one thing is not don't load too much ink on the skin. That's it.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. So, how can people find you? What's your name of your?
My name is MHP Studio. I am in the Netherlands, Utrecht, and yeah, they can find me like that. MHP Studio.
We'll find them on Instagram, and that will link them right to your website. Hey, I highly recommend Ronnie to anybody in the area listening to this. You know, go see him. He's a beast. He's a beast. One of the best in the world. One of the best in the world.
I'm not the best, but I hang out with the best.
You're one of the best. You're one of the best.